Huh? Yeah, it's see on top. You can see.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I see right away. It's a silver suit. You know, I see your energy body present in your physical, because sometimes it's not. And then you kind of like go through this door. There's just like a wall and a door to the right side of you, and you open the door, like a portal, and go out. You're in space, but you're wearing this like a metallized suit, and you want to show me something. It's like a nebular that you say has a connection to the outside worlds, and you study you study nebulas, but you also here's the thing. I see like multiple portals that you go through, and I also see an interesting planet that you go to. That's your original planet. It kind of looks like oh, I hear some strange noises. If you want, I mean, no, it stopped. But you can always mute the microphone or um, yeah. And this planet looks like it's very like whitish color. It's almost like a white grass with little tiny purple flowers, but they go in stripes and they crisscross. Like imagine a ribbon with flowers, and it grows and then it goes like in diagonal, and then it crisscrossing in diagonal. And I see some interesting creatures. They're almost like worm looking creatures, and they're digging the holes in your planet. And when you go there, the metallic suit is missing, and you almost look like the body is covered with little tiny, like it's not feathers, but more like fur type, just tiny, tiny bit, like butterflies would do, would be covered. And then you have those kind of energetic wings, but I think they propel your energy around you for protection or something, because I see the vortex of energy is created from the feet to the top, and it goes up like higher, like a real vortex, like you make a water one. And you look like the face looks very, very prolonged, and the nose is, it's just kind of like, it almost looks artificial, but it's more like a triangle type thingy. It look like you have insect or something, but the wings are totally energetic, and they match. It's almost like the mimicry with the flowers, because it's the same exact color of those flowers that you are. And there's a lot of you, and I see they all different in color. I think you actually classify yourself on that planet. So the body is like very thin, long, semi-transparent. It's like a fourth to fifth dimension type, and then it goes in layers and layers. So the same planet exists in higher ones, and you kind of jump from one to another, because it almost looks like a timeline. All the planets under the same name. I'm trying to get the name of the planet, because I just see the code number first. But I think the code number is more belonging to the kind of matrix classification. Marine.
I can't hear you. Hello? We're getting interference. We're getting interference. Hello? Getting interference.
What is that?
We had interference. I didn't hear anything you said for the last minute.
Oh, okay. Well, let me do another thing now. Oh yeah, there's like snake comes. By the way, that snake is completely metallic. It's like a very long python type creature. I see it to the left of me, to the right of you. So I'm telling you, you can just like freeze it or put it in some container for now. We'll figure out where it comes from. Yeah, I understand where it comes from, like you told me. So basically, remember I told you there's like holes and the creatures looking like worms. Those are like burrows. I don't know, that's what you said. And they burrow the holes, basically they make the holes in the ground because you need that for, it's like the essence of the planet needs to give more energy to the plants and to the beings on top, and you need those holes, and they also serve as portals for different beings to get through that planet and use it as a portal to other worlds. Because I see it, it's like a multi-dimensional kind of structure of the planets, and each planet provides, is being used as a portal system. The snake is in the box. You put her in like a big black box inside, and they're just a watcher. It's kind of watching you because it comes from the planet of snake. You're saying the ancient snake people, the Nagas. Those are the ones that you do the trade with, and they provide you some technology that you use and you need for the day. It's like you're terraforming your planet or something, because that way it's better integrated into the energetic makeup of the space where you are in the universe right now, because you somehow want the energies of space going through the planet also. There's some correlation, and you want to create like vortices of energies going and penetrating the planet too, and you pull different colors of energies from space into it, because it seems like it's stimulating the imagination patterns in you to create other creatures, because you're working on basically a creative flora. You're working on creating the fauna for this planet. And what I see is your planet is being under control of those snake people, which you don't really understand or know, but they do come to you for some crystalline ball looking structures. They're kind of like round, like a crystal ball type thing. Those are the things that you also use, those worms. They're giant, they really are, to dig and find those in the structure of the planet. And you do the exchange. You give them those in exchange for some technology, some of the things you need for shifting your planet's energetic layers, because it's like every energy corresponds the vibrational frequency, and different vibrational frequencies are needed for your people who are in different vibration, and thus, I mean, they kind of look like they're all different colors, and they have to develop almost like clusters of energy in which they can coexist and create. It almost looks like little domes over the one planet, and each dome is a different color and has different color energy beings in it for creation, because you all also, by creating the development of different universe,
You're breaking up again.
different planets. Really? Hmm. Let me pull out more. I see what happened to you. You just figured out the plan. You figured everything out, what how they're using you for, and what they're doing with the crystal balls that you give them, and they actually using them because they're high vibrational crystals, and they use them for raising their offspring in them. And through the crystalline structure of the ball, when they place a fetus inside, they can program with the fetus with different DNA. There's almost like, you know how you take a syringe and insert something? They insert something, but they use a different system. It's almost like a little device that they hold in hand, and they have a DNA of other species that are interested into integrating into their own babies, fetuses, and they would just shoot it in through it, and would see basically creating different hybrids for these snake ancient species to survive in their transformational world. That's what they say. So you and three other ones, or four of you, went there. So I see them come by the spaceship. I see you go there too. But you approached them first when they came for crystal balls, and you told them you're not gonna get any because we know that you use them for the wrong purposes, and you tell us the lies. And they just became very angry, but they didn't show it to you, even though you felt the vibration pretty well. They say that, well, you gotta help us with the hybrids and maybe transform them into something else. If you're able to do that, and you can undo some things, you can add some things. It's almost like heart of fusogenesis, who knows how to manipulate the genes, and they mutate them or unmutate them. And you just go with them, and once you enter, step your feet on the spacecraft that they have, which looks more like a triangular with the round on the end. You automatically give the permission to be under them, and they tell you, now you're our servants. What you do, you start making that noise you would make on the planet to activate your, it's like self-defense system when you raise your vibration real high, and you're able to break free usually from whatever it is holding you. But I don't see you are able to, because there's just 3 different layers of protection around the spacecraft that holds your energy, and basically you feel pressure from all around. I feel it's almost starting to hurt you energetically. And then you place all 4 of you in. So the thing about you have this energy body, but it's dense, and you have this insert of your consciousness. They separate your body from your consciousness. They put them in some sort of containers. They're standing up containers. They more look like those tubes in the cloning facilities. And they put your consciousness in some transparent cubes. The test tubes are there, but I don't understand what they're using them for. I think maybe to want to split up the energies or something like this. Because I see what they're doing. They're trying to split you up and they have a hard time. They put like a tube on top, they turn it in, and they put some substances which are kind of like fluids. There's a bright purple, the bright green, almost like lime, or one of those fluorescent type. And they're supposed to do something to the consciousness, to the essence of the soul, to make it smaller. And you are frightened. I see you move as energy in this container. You're scared. And it hurts you. All those fluids, it's like they're very low vibrational. It kind of really does hurt you, but they cannot split you up. Because there's something about your DNA, like you're very, in physical terms, you're firm. It's hard to separate you. They can block your DNA, and they did. 50% of it, around like that, 49, 50. But they had to do it separately. It's almost like they added new codons to block the function of the original ones. You know, those connections in between the strands, that's what they blocked them with. And they just decide that, oh, we'll send them to Earth, to 3D. So we usually do the testing ground. I hear them speak. Let's send them to the testing ground. And they are in robes. They're like black robes and in hoods. And there's some insignia in golden letters. It's almost like, you know, a sand watch. It kind of looks like it. And then inside there's dots, like multiple dots in a straight line. There's stars around it, just like in a circle. There's some significance of it. And background is blue. It's like space and time travelers, or space and time for them is conquered, or they're creating it also. Like they know all about it. And that's the significance of it. The other one is different. The other one is more like a triangle, and there's just like a snake's head in it. It's all, but it's on their lab coats that they wear. Those are snake beings, but they're different. They mixed, it's like a mixture of a snake and reptilian, because their snouts look different from snakes. And so one of your people, they were able to split up, and not you. What is the difference? The difference is about masculine and feminine energy. Which one was dominant? Those snakes are very powerful. I'm telling your subconscious just to put them in lab tubes or something, freeze them, so they cannot influence the connection, because they keep like making this funky noises. So I just see your first incarnation. and it's like in 13th century. So just, I see you a little boy, I see you older, I see you doing herbs, I see you being interested in herbal. Kind of, you almost like trying to figure out how to use herbs by yourself, and you become very good at it. And I see you being prosecuted, I see you living by yourself at some point, and then you're just like that, and you leave a book behind. And there is another guy who comes to you as a young man, and you give him the book, and so you just wanted to make sure that the knowledge you acquired in all your life would could be used by others, because you met a lot of opposition in that life, and you took a lot of you're very like you take responsibility, you really are, on yourself when you would treat people. And I see that right away showing on on this area here, a little higher than the chest, and it looks like it's like a blue kind of slimy type thingy with just slowly moving down to the chest area, but energetically it affects. And you're the one who created it from that light. So this is the life number 39 to 38 before. I also feel like they manipulated a lot of your timelines, because they know how powerful you are, and they just keeping a close look at the development of your understanding of consciousness. And then I see you being like you're a diver in the ocean. That's another life that your subconscious brings me to. And I see you swimming next to different fish, or one of them looks like almost like a jellyfish, but a giant. I think in that life you're studying the sea creatures, and I see you holding some ancient book, and it literally looked like like a ray, a fish, or it's called the and but it got some features of a bat, and those are supposed to be kind of like something people saw, but it's under the fairy tale context, and you believe that those are true, and you keep diving and diving since you were a little boy, you're a man in this life also, to discover some mysteries of the Atlantic Ocean. It's very interesting. It's almost like you're living on some island or something, because it's not connected to any land. You're just in the middle of nowhere. And there's a little village there. There are about like 20 houses there. And I have a feeling that those were planted by some alien species. You don't even look like people. Oh, that's your first life, is it? Yeah, that's your second life on that island, because they needed you to adapt. You were very hard to adapt to a human body, and they've done all kinds of measurements and parameters and all the biological testing they've done, that would be hard for you to adapt, so they would throw you in those solitary, easy type lives a lot to get you adapted. But I also see you, it looks like it's Italy, because I see you in the black glasses on a motorcycle type thing, and you're a woman in that one. I see you running away from from some abuser or something like this. Some guys chasing you on a motorcycle on a big road, because I clearly feel there's a roam behind you, and you're going in the north direction, towards the northern Italy. And you have to defend yourself. So, as I understand, they divided these lives. It's like the beginning. It used to be pretty easygoing, but then they wanted to create some sort of traumatic instances or traumas along the way, so you wouldn't really trust it. They didn't want you to trust in your own abilities, in what you know deep inside, through by using trauma. And let me go back to the hemisphere, disconnect from that line, kind of understand what they're doing. So there's this thing. It's like in the back of the head, there's an interesting thingy going on. It's like an implant. When I touch it, it has like a rubberized structure, very kind of gel-like rubberized. Now, it looks like if you had a round circle, if you cut slits in it and you turn them, and each one as it turned is like a disk of a program that is connected to the other 38 lives, and by using you or by using them, and they have access to all of them, they can influence. They were trying to influence your thoughts and actions and lives through by using those. I don't see any wires coming from them. It's like an interesting thing because it also moves from the back of the head to the front, and then if you have a strong intention to move it, because your subconscious knows what is going on, you would move it with your intention to the sides, to whatever you wanted. So, because it's almost like you know about it, but consciously you're hinted by your subconscious. You have to look closely at it. So there's this thing in the throat. There's like two little things on like where the lymph nodes are. They're like flat oval type thin implants right there. It controls the speech. It controls like what you see. It's kind of connected to the one in the head, because in certain situations you would be hesitant of saying or speaking up your truth, type thing, and that's why they are there. There's stomach and uterus. Like there are two dots that I see in red, and they're like glowing, and they're connected. I feel some pain like in the back. There's something in the back. It looks like but it's connected to the other life, because there are two swords like crisscrossed in there. It's like you were fighting for freedom of your people, and you're a knight, Ludwig II. I see like a castle. I see you being raised as a little boy, and I see you being told that you have to control the people because they don't know anything, they're stupid. And then you get close to them because you kind of go out and play with regular kids. You figured out that I see how you go through some gate, metallic gate, and you go. It's almost like one of those stories when you make your way through to regular people because you really want to study them. You're interested in. You have this lie detector in you somehow, through your DNA, and you know that your father is lying to you. And those two symbolize. So basically, he told you when you grew up and you confronted him that you can go live with those people you love so much, and you just brought the two swords, And there was a symbology involved in this, that you truly believe that some spirit was like helping you in fighting the untruths in that life. And that's why those are on your back. But those are totally from that life, but I feel like those snake people have something to do with it, because they use that life as you being a warrior, and you knew techniques of fighting. And I see you in that life being lifted by a spacecraft into in the like blue light onto the ship on board, and they would bring you to different astral platforms when you'd be like a teacher of fighting on swords to others. And most of them are just people. There's some aliens there too. I see some grays and some human Draco hybrids whom they were trained to, but he had this special way of doing it. Mm, because you also speak telepathically to them in that life. So you're taking all the same plans. So the one from the back, still there. The two underneath your jaws, where the lymph nodes are. I see them in your hands. Those swords on the back. See, you wanted to keep that connection also by yourself, because you feel a lot in life like you need to protect yourself. So you took those out. And there's two lights in between the stomach and the uterus. Those are connected with there's like a wire. That's the only wire I see from all the implants I see here. And there's also some dust type thing that your subconscious is telling you want to clean from your body. This is just a nanotechnology that got into you from different sources throughout the lifetime. And I see conglomerates a bit. I mean, they're kind of bunched up in different places. It can cause some neural sensitivity. I feel like it's really affecting the nervous system reacts to it, because the body's trying to push it out, but it doesn't know how to. And they basically look like clusters of gray dust type thingy. So yeah, and those chakra rings, they look like rings. They look like energy rings of different colors. You just pull them out also. And I tell you that you can open a portal. And you open a portal, you throw them out. Close the portal. So this is done. You see those. I'm telling you that you can raise your vibration and just feel up. Feel all the spots left out from the implants that are look empty with your own soul's essence's energy. And that's what you're doing. It's a light green. It's like a beautiful kind of greenish, lightish color. But at the same time, you have this purple aura around you from that butterfly being type. I can't even call it a butterfly, just like humanoid with the propelled energies looking like wings to us humans at least. And you're just initiating the process of regeneration of all the cells of tissues in your body, of muscle tissue, of neurons, everything that was touched or influenced by the impulses coming from the implants. And I see like a big, it's almost like a comet going through your body and raising your vibration at the same time. Let me see so the strands of DNA, I see there's 22, and you say, oh, this is just a lower down because that was the only way. to preserve some of them without being touched by those nagas. And you're saying there's like 68 of them really, and you can add more via more experiences on different planets that you visit, but for now it's enough. And you are taking, by the way, those gray clusters, they disappeared. You just burned them up with your vibration when you raised it. The DNA is, you're taking those are like codon overlays or duplicates of them that were influencing and blocking some of the segments of those ribbons that I see. You took those out. There's like 27 of them that you took out, you said. And you put them in the portal also. You just want to keep your original DNA. But you're not from one planetary system, you're from many. It's like because you really like going to different places and exploring. So you're asking them, what is there a contract? And I don't see like there's no contract. What happened there, it was subconscious conversation based on the energy of, it's not frustration, it's like partially shocked because the deception that you discovered exists, because before that you didn't know it even existed. And so when you lowered your vibration, you turned the color of your body quickly as you're going into like gray blue kind of color, and then you just walk into the spacecraft of those, and that's when the contract happens. It's subconscious, it doesn't exist on paper or in any other form. So you go back to that place where your bodies are in containers, and you just give information. You're touching, I see your energy bodies standing there touching the tubes, and you give them information, and they open their eyes and understanding everything so they can uncreate what's been done. So basically they delete the moment when you all as a team walk onto the spacecraft, so as if you're never given that permission to do, or never gave them the agreement to be their prisoners. So change that. Those are gone from there. I don't see any clones or hybrids made. They didn't do that. They had a hard time. There's something about your DNA structure. It's like hard to mutate, and that's why the physical body would just like whatever gets into the body, whatever substance for mutation of DNA gets into your body would get clustered. It's like it gets covered with little film and becomes like a cluster that exists in certain points of the body. And your subconscious was trying to figure out how to get rid of it, which you just did. So here's the emotional body. I see it. I see it's got layers of those traumatic experiences that they've done to you in those lives when you were a human being. So you're just taking them out and throwing them out like frisbees, basically. And filling up the space by touching with your hand and with your energy going in there. And then the mental body is totally connected to it, so you create like a passageway from one to another. It looks like an energetic thick corridor straw. And once you're cleansing that, it sends a wave of cleanse and powerful energy to the mental body also, to work on the programs from childhood, from school, from all the systems that touched you and tried to change you. But there's one thing about you, it's hard to change you. You're not, you can hardly be changed in any way once you decided something or believed in something, because you support your beliefs by your own figuring out how things are and feeling and intuition, things like that. But that program that, I cannot do the same others can, or I need a confirmation, that was a program also. So those are gone. You kind of just have to support them at a physical level so they work. So this is all done. You keep telling me that there is a lot of portal systems, and you tell me that you go when your physical body is asleep to some timelines and trying to change the timelines and help others. Then you have a group of people who does this with you, even though you don't know these people at the physical level. But your subconscious is saying you might meet them soon. Through some screen, your subconscious showed me the screen, so obviously probably some groups or something like that, some discussion, some conversation with people. We'll meet the people because we're all working on something. So you just open a portal, a big one, and you push that snake that came, the metallized ones. It comes from Matrix. But those Nagas created artificial worlds. I see 5 of them around their original planet, and they just put like snake bots, or artificially created ones, because they feel those programs. They're trying to protect the world. They're trying to protect themselves from what's coming. So because everything's gonna be like cleansed and transformed. Sorry, and that one went. Those beings from the ship in lab coats and in robes went to the portal also. So let me see those. Those are pretty, those worms that you use, they're actually snakes, your subconscious told me, and those are ancestors of pre-ancestors, just saying, of those Nagas who think they're the oldest, but actually those are the oldest, but then they mutated, and through mutation and human DNA, they became, like, they start standing on their feet, they grew out those feet and hands and all this, arms. So it was pretty interesting that way. You look clean now, and you have this purple glow around your body. I don't see anything. I just walking around, and I told you to check yourself from head to toe again, because they were taking quite a bit of energy, 59% from you, for all those research facilities and all those things that were involved in. All those connections are broken, disconnected from all of it. But yeah, you're at this planet where you look like kind of a humanoid with energetic butterfly wings, and you like that life a lot. You can ask any questions if you want.
The energy, I could tell that I was getting drained of energy. I knew something was draining me.
Yeah, it's that metallized snake, because it was constantly scanning you for biological body details, all the parameters, and they were interested in your thinking. It's like they're studying this thinking pattern and emotional pattern of humans in that lab. And I saw those snake people in the lab coats, and that's also why, you know, because that snake is was completely connected to you from the back, and it wouldn't be able to function as a robot without any battery, and you were its battery.
I felt it. I felt it out of my back. I knew something. It was like where my kidneys were. Was it like where my kidneys were?
Mm-hmm.
Like my, like the middle of my back, a little bit lower.
Right. Yeah, because you also had those implants. It's like, imagine like shiny light or sphere, but it's metallic, and then another one, uterus, low stomach, and they would it created like some sort of vortex of energy, and it was affecting all the gut system, the kidneys, whatever is there, from the solar plexus and down to your legs. It was kind of affected by that. It created some greed of energy waves that were draining you, and also not permitting you to use your stomach or gut system as a gut feeling. So you were mostly using your heart feeling, uh,
Mhm.
because
Yep.
I didn't see any implants there. So you would go for that connection with the soul.
So all that stuff is gone now.
Yeah, no, nothing is there anymore. You filled everything up with your own energy, which looks like a purplish kind of light. Let's see. And you like the core of your essence is light green, and then on the sides I see like light purple color, like an aura.
So am I going to feel better now?
Yeah, you're gonna feel more energetic and lighter. You know, you're not gonna be having the thoughts out of the blue, emotions out of the blue that you don't expect, and you feel like are not yours. Those are were totally done by the implant programming. Yeah, it's just a different. The thing is, you have to really work on yourself at the physical level, because and notice patterns. Because we all live by patterns, right? Certain situation comes up, and you react to it by exhibiting certain behavior. Once you notice what you do, what you think, and in certain situations, you can change it. Because what you did, your soul has done, or your subconscious has done work at the etheric level, where you have a etheric energy body, and that goes inside the physical body, right? That one is transformed, so it's going to transpire into the physical body, and the everything you're gonna see slowly, the unfolding of the change in you. You just have to support it by your thoughts and actions, and kind of watching your own self, um, at the physical level, because that's how it works. It's subconscious working with conscious or rational or analytical mind. 50-50 has to be in perfect balance to reach the best results. And you're already doing it, but it's a good reminder to have, that just be an observer. Don't get emotionally involved in certain things or news or whatever information you hear. But you kind of like that anyway, because you create this vortex of protection from feet to up, and you just like to be relaxed in that kind of energy, and it's really connected to that planet that you really like. Because you're like independent creators there, and you come in groups sometimes, but then most of the time you're individually creating. But sometimes you show to each other what you created and how it can coexist, and symbiotic relationship and things like that. Like you really like that life. I feel like you're trying to recreate it here. And you like nature and all this, and just beautiful colors and things like that. It's
Well,
really
in the beginning, you, I can hear you when you told me what planet I was from. That started destruction, or did you find?
You're really breaking down, like your sound. Let me just, I can't hear you at all. Let me turn off and maybe call you back. I can't hear your voice. It's breaking down badly. You see it, because I can't answer the question. Let me